Thank you for breaking the mold and coming to our site. This is where we start the process of taking back our children. They are our children, given to us by a choice made between two people in love and proof of a miracle. A child made from two people, a woman selfishly giving her body up for 9 months to grow and nurture human life and then to bear excruciating pains to bring that baby to our world. A father, the protector, is a strong individual whose job is to at all costs protect. And we are just letting these demonize our lives, insult our roles as parents and take our kids, never faltering. Yes, we kick and yell, but at the end, the kids are still gone and life of emptiness begins. That sounds so un-American, but more so ungodly. He is pissed those kids are for our entrance to heaven and we are giving them away. Not anymore. It's time to square the devil in the face and take back what rightfully belongs to us, something that only our Maker can do, and won't if you show your faith. CPS is stealing children around the world for profits, and your government is with them. The system is rigged. You can be perfect in every way. We all were in our children's eyes. It won't matter. These are economically inside kidnappings. You need to understand that. True, there are times when intervention is necessary, but that is not who they target. So stop putting yourself down or someone you know who lost a child to CPS. Stand up or stand them up and fight. Fight like a bear would if the cub is trying to be harmed. Learn from the simplicity of animals, which we are far more advanced and way more backward. The children are the future, not a number on a budget report, not an estimated worth. They are our flesh and blood and made from a miracle. Now that you know what's going on, stand with us and fight so no other children will be used as slaves to the system that we are supposed to control. Shame on us. Time to make it right in your home in God's eyes.
Be prepared to hear what CPS is, and after listening, please be ready to act, for we need everyone for this one. This is a problem that affects every person in the world because the protection of our children and the sanctity of family is a universal human right. It is time to take a stand and demand that CPS be held accountable for their actions. The corruption has run rancid, and our children, the future of the human race, are being depleted by trafficking and family ancestry being erased. Not to mention the broken hearts and river of tears left behind in the wake of family annihilation. Why? For what? Money. Money for the soul of a child, and this is determined by a person inexperienced in more ways than one, yet our system allows them to play God. What have we become as a society, when the cries of children fill pockets with riches and breaks hearts of family and we the people do nothing? How do we turn our backs on an issue as disgusting as this? No person should sleep comfortably knowing this is happening. Children crying for their families while CPS employees celebrate their cash bonuses, high-fiving in the halls of justice. Think this is a lie? Look at Social Security Act Title IV and Safe Families Act. They promote the caseworkers to quickly steal these children from loving families in record times. And what did these families do so wrong? Most of them nothing. Have you ever noticed the children that die have been called upon as many as 30 times? That's because there is no money in children who have already been spoiled by true abuse or born to true drug addicts. No one pays top dollar for that. The money is in the perfect blonde-haired, blue-eyed good family and upbringing. Yes, instant family. Just add kid for whatever price they ask. No one is out of reach from these demons, and they must be held accountable for their crimes against innocent families. How are judges so freely letting children be erased from the heritage they are entitled to? They inflict on the family the same level of punishment given to a murderer or person society has to eliminate, as they are so wretched existence is no longer favorable. Termination of parental rights is the equivalent to the death penalty in more than one way. Think about that for just a moment. Do you know someone who has lost their children, and if so, is the death penalty a worthy and just punishment? That is on the adults. Why do the children then get punished as well? This system is itself cruel and unusual punishment. This is America. We don't treat living people in such heartless ways. For all this to happen, it's corruption from the ground to the White House. That is the truth. Together, we can raise awareness about the injustices done by CPS and fight for the rights of our children.
There are so many of us affected by CPS corruption, yet we isolate ourselves in shame. Not anymore. AbolishCPS.com has been created to show with force what has happened to us is wrong, and we are not remaining silent. We are the parents of those children you have wrongfully taken. We stand to abolish CPS.
Please stop the real abuse. Abolishcps.com.
The children in our country are being made to be the victim of a situation they are not involved, and then sent to a foster home where they again are reintroduced to trauma of being the odd ball. Our courts are contaminated with young, inexperienced caseworkers and polluted with bribes, high-priced bonuses for speedy adoption of terminated parents, and judges who don't practice law with the Constitution in their sights. This is a problem. George Washington never thought of children as pawn in the game of freedom and American values, and never had he wanted to sell them. They were from his maker, his creator. Our children are being run down for no other reason than the profits being made in some way. Somehow these government agencies make money hand over fist day in and day out. They have you go to classes that they are billing for, and there is no viable reason for you to attend. Yet when you hear an update, CPS tells you that you're further away from when you started. Reunification is your goal, not theirs. And after you go through 12+ months of grueling, painstaking classes and meetings, all while getting the slimmest amount of time to visit your child, and even worst, you are always supervised, never alone again with your child. It's awful. How do they feel, do you think?
Where's the outrage? Why is nobody standing up for these families being torn apart by CPS?
Please don't tell me you're going to put all your bets on this superhero. You grown-ups are supposed to be coming to his rescue. Stop ignoring this problem. There is nothing more I can say to any of you. Please fight CPS and help those who have lost so much they can help themselves.
Alright, what's up everybody? This is Wednesday night CPS Victims Hunting Justice. I am your host, CPS Punisher. Thank you for joining us. Like, subscribe, do all those things that we get to do to help us pass this program on. Let's see here. We have, as usual, we have the chat, which is right there, that you are more than welcome to, and actually we encourage you to join us, ask us questions, anything that you have for us right here. So whatever you guys got, you got a CPS case, you got a CPS problem, go ahead right here and we'll get you what you need to do for answers. So guys, check this out. Today I just got this I got this notice. I don't know the validity of this or not, but bear with me here while I pull this up. I got a message in Messenger that says, hold on a second here, let me get it. Go down through here. So they say it's true. Wait till you guys see this. This is crazy. All right. Here we go. Share screen. Messenger. Check this out. Automatic reply. Presiding judges due notice of revocation of State of Oregon DHS. And it says this message has been prepared on resources owned by Clatsop County, Oregon, and is subject to the internet and online services, blah, 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 from someone. So that tells me that things are working, people. DHS is feeling the heat. So if that's true, it's coming, and so are our children. I'm going to bring out our crew here. We got Herbert with us. We got Vinny with us right now. Vinny, Herbert, how we doing, guys?
Good evening, guys.
Good. Hi.
What'd you think of that? What do you think of that notice right there?
Sounds good.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, that's we just need that to happen for everybody. You know, that's what needs to go on there. Every state needs to follow suit with that. So that's what I'm thinking that's all about. If we could get every state to start doing that, that would be great. We're all dealing with this bullshit. CPS taking our kids, destroying our families. And it's got to stop. It's definitely got to stop.
Herbert, man, you're echoing.
Yeah, Herbert, we got reverb, buddy.
You got you said you got feedback?
Feedback, bud.
Okay.
All right, we'll see you in a minute. That's Herbert. Herbert's got the feedback. So Benny, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good, man. I just
All right.
they told me today at my back specialist that I got arthritis in my lower back.
Yeah, I got that. That's why I do this right here. You see me swinging back and forth? That's why I do it, man, because I can't stand for a long time.
Yeah.
It's a sucky thing. Let's see, let's get Herbert back here. Yeah, it's a terrible thing. Herbert, we got him back. I don't hear no feedback. Here we go. All right, Roz is in the house. Roz.
Good evening.
Good evening,
How are
Mr. Ross.
Nothing like
Roz,
working.
did you hear what I just said? Did you see that? What I just put up there?
No. I came in with you hollering for Herbert.
All right, watch this. And this has been checked to say that this is true. Check this out. Presiding judges due notice of revocation of State of Oregon, DHS.
Okay, I can't quite see that. What did you say it says?
It says, presiding judges due notice of revocation of State of Oregon, DHS.
Huh. Have to find out more about that.
Yeah, I've been looking on. That's the message from Ron Brown, the governor, to the judges, I guess. There's no message with it, but the person that sent it to me has verified that it is in fact true. So I'm looking for some of that right now. See if we can find that. But boy, wouldn't that be something?
Yeah.
But here's the thing. So even if they did that, what happens to the people that are in these situations like us, you know, like people that are missing their kids? I wonder what takes place. What takes place when you do that? If they
If they found the judges were negligent, illegal, whatever, then they could reopen the cases. But I would think you would have to request that.
right.
You know?
I mean, because, you know, even in the bill that I've written that I'm trying to get finalized and pushed through for this next Congress that will sit, I say in it that everybody that's lost their kids to DHS, CPS, whatever you want to call them, that they have an opportunity to either have their kids returned, or it needs to be heard by a panel, you know, maybe a government committee, or or something like that, to hear what your case was. Maybe not like a real trial, but I mean, I would think that if they're doing those things, that the people that have been affected by CPS and been wronged by them, need the opportunity to be righted.
Here's where the double-edged sword comes in. If it's been years and the children have been adopted out, whether by family or whatever, they won't want to uproot the kids.
Stop just touching my shit.
Because it's always kids first. So they won't want to uproot the kids from what's, from where they're stable, their school, their home, they picked out the paint in their bedroom, whatever.
Right. But I mean, that leaves to be decided. That's another question too. I know that we're all parents and we want our children and so on, but what is the time frame that your children are gone from you, that you go and take them back? Like, how do you act and what do you do in that time frame? My wife and I discuss this a lot. Like, what is?
I think part of it has to do with the age of the children too.
Right.
Okay. If you have a child who's taken away from you at 11 or 12, it's different than a child taken away from you at 1 or 2.
Right.
The 12-year-old is going to remember you.
Right.
2-year-old isn't.
Right. No, I agree with that. Baby to 2.
If the 2-year-old is 8, that's going to be awful traumatic.
Right. I mean, I think that there's ways that you could infiltrate their lives and be brought into it, because I don't believe that it's wrong that they, that's your child, you were wronged. I also don't believe that you should just go in there and rip them out of that house.
Right. You have to be an aunt, uncle, like an aunt and uncle or something.
Right. A way for people to slowly work their ways back into their lives,
Right.
And that's what I believe that needs to happen. Because you can't. It's going to be no different than what they've done in this situation. If you just go in there and that's all they've known,
Many places have review boards, but I don't think the citizens' review boards are brought up to speed well enough.
Right. Well, I mean, they would have a whole slew of papers on their desk too.
So I got my motion for visitations set up. I just got to get it printed off and go have it notarized and send it out.
Nice. Why do you need it notarized?
I notarize all my documents.
All right. Let's see. That was Mandy and Martin.
I know that does that.
Yeah,
I do it for a reason, because none of their stuff has the state seal on it, and I make sure that the state seal is on it, because then it is a official document.
It's an official, right?
Well, the thing with the notary is you swear the document is true.
Yep.
Right, so, but all of those are supposed to be under the guides of perjury, no?
Yes.
It's the penalty of perjury. And then what good is that anyway? Because we all know what they do.
Yeah, they overlook it and overlook whatever. But I'm trying to dig into the thing about how to get the guardian ad litem fired for failure to do her job the correct way.
It's tough to get a guardian ad litem removed. I know that for a fact, and all the reading I've done too, because that's supposed to be a neutral figure. That's supposed to be the representative of the child, right?
And she's not.
Of course, they never are. They're all hand in hand with DHS. You know that.
Yep.
That's it. That's where they're wrong. They are to be an independent investigator for the court, not for CPS.
Right.
But this one, in my account, this one is working for a CPS because they even covered her ass.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
If you prove that,
it's right on the document that I just got. It states it.
Right, because they're supposed to.
Here's how you find out if they did an independent investigation. You contact the people they were supposed to contact and find out, subpoena power if you have to, find out if the GAL contacted them directly.
She hasn't contacted no one in my family.
Not necessarily your family.
She's only talked to the kids and the people the kids are with. That is it.
Okay, what you'd have to do to prove her that she's not doing her job as an independent investigation is to find out if she's pulled the school records and the medical records. If she hasn't done that herself and only took what CPS had on record, then you have her dead to rights. She's not doing an independent investigation.
Well, I could call the school and ask them. I can do that.
Right.
Oh, so you're going to be a Yorkie.
Yeah.
Woof, woof, woof. Where's your pit bull? Nothing verbal.
Right.
Oh, I know.
Email only, man. Email only, something in writing.
But I'm also looking at this new thing that my friend from California just sent me today, where it makes you politically correct.
Who cares?
Right.
I do. I want to have it done because it takes these cases out of Admiralty courts.
Okay, you just lost your case. Don't bother filling another paper out. Don't bother. You just screwed yourself. What caliber did you use to shoot yourself in the foot?
Some cannon, right? So here, this says this. Check this out. The new JAL laws and rules. This is for the state of Maine. Who qualifies? Only licensed professionals who take GAL training and placed on the roster by CJ. Mandatory duties: interview child and parents, partners in home, investigate, write a report, and appear at trial to testify or assist the court. Non-mandatory duties: interview third parties like grandparents if not living in home, teachers, therapists, physicians, or daycare providers, obtain and review records from other sources, attend mediation or other court proceedings before trial, recommend therapists, psychological evaluations, or other service providers. Then it says law and practices for GALs. They are not inspirational, but defines immunity and ethical protections for a GAL. So no means no unless judge orders. If you intend to file for a GAL, do so early. Use it or lose it. Magistrates, judges must justify appointment based upon needs of a child and financial capacity of parents in a non-Title 22 case. Understand the difference between the investigation and recommendations by a GAL and how a judge may view the roles. Bend, don't break. Bad tactical strategy and worse outcomes for parents in court. Providing data to GAL within the scope of the AO is not the same as lobbying, hence the admonition above. Is not the chance to disrespectful or theatrical for clients. Your audience is a judge, not internet ratings or client kudos.
Which she's getting client kudos from fucking CPS. And it's right on that paper, and I can prove it because it states it.
Really? Did you understand what I was telling you a minute ago?
Yep.
When you go into that realm, you lose. Every time. Get it out of the Admiralty Court. That's that sovereign stuff that I haven't met anyone who has won with it in over 25 years.
Yeah,
I don't know. My friend
getting this great advice. How did they win their case?
She's getting her husband out of jail by doing that.
And in other words, she hasn't done squat yet.
He got a new birth certificate and already, so she's waiting for. She was supposed to go pick that up today.
A copy of his birth certificate. Whoopee. If you were to write to the state of Ohio, you could get a copy of mine. Public record. Whoop-dee-doo. Has nothing to do with that. In other words, she hasn't won a damn thing, and you want to take her advice over mine, who has hundreds of kids home. Gotcha.
So here's what's funny here, Ross. Check this out. In Maine, these are Maine guidelines, so I'm sure that they're pretty close to what everybody else is going through. Now, in Title 22, it's not Title 22. Title 4 funding, it goes by, it says that a guardian ad litem can be put in there as long as termination or adoption are on the record, right? That's what their exception is for that. In Maine, I know every case that I've heard of, they've always appointed a GAL in these cases. So to me, that means that they are already moving towards termination of parental rights in all of these cases, or they have somebody on board to adopt, because that's the only two ways that Title IV is paying for the GAL in these situations. So I found that pretty ironic, and it even says that in the state laws that a GAL is only supposed to be appointed if there's a termination of parental rights or an adoption. So, and with these timelines that I'm reading right now too, GAL is supposed to be right at the beginning. So it seems like there's a lot of fluff, if you would, in between that of why a GAL is appointed and under what conditions and what ways they are appointed. Like, what do you know about the appointment of a guardian ad litem?
Here, there's a guardian ad litem on every case that goes to court.
Right. Being appointed guardian ad litem for the child in the court.
Okay. Now, in a private custody case, some of those things you mentioned would be taken into consideration.
Okay, so yeah, all right. I'm trying to look here. To address practice and performance of guardian ad litems for children.
The phone hush.
Timing. All right. So any motion for appointment of GAL should be filed no later than the conference with the court following the first scheduled mediation session. If mediation is waived, 60 days after the first conference within the court. Motion for appointment.
That sounds like private custody.
Right. Yeah. This is just their new rules and laws. That's what I'm looking for here. The reasons for late motion could not have been anticipated at a point when a timely motion could have been filed. Matter of harm, best interests of the child. All right. So this says the appointment will not unreasonably delay resolution of the matter of harm or the best interests of the child in achieving clarity in parental rights and responsibilities for the child. Person appointed to the court serve as GAL as this court agent. Says a person appointed by the court to serve as a GAL acts as the court's agent as an entitled to quasi-judicial immunity for acts performed within the scope of duties of the GAL. A quasi-judicial officer, GAL. What's that?
Quasi-immunity, not full immunity.
So what's quasi?
That would be, and then it goes on to say within the scope of their duties. So as long as they are sticking to what they're supposed to, they have immunity. If they go outside of it, they don't.
So in other words, you're telling me with the things that she hasn't done, she's gone outside the scope of her.
Well, speaking of scopes, check this out. The GAL may not perform and shall not be expected to perform any duties beyond those specified in the appointment order, unless subsequently ordered to do so by the court. The appointment order must be written on a court-approved form and must specify the guardian ad litem's length of appointment and specific duties including the filing of a written report. So if that works in for what you're talking about, Vinny, and then it says, here we go with the immunity. A GAL is entitled to quasi-judicial immunity from liability for actions undertaken pursuant to their appointments. These rules are standards of practice for guardian ad litems in the courts. It says judicial immunity protects the GAL from civil liabilities for acts performed within the scope of the GAL's official duties in the event that he or she is personally sued. A person serving as a guardian ad litem under this section acts as the court's agent and is entitled to quasi-judicial immunity for acts performed within the scope of the duties.
Right.
So,
And she hasn't performed all of her duties, so therefore her immunity is nothing.
You would have to, as in all lawsuits, prove that it caused harm.
It did, because she didn't even speak to anyone in the family other than up there.
right, but those rules just said right here at the beginning, the rules said that stuff doesn't matter. It says that they're only obligated to, let's see, let me reread that here.
Now, I heard it say that they are to talk to other people.
Yeah,
No,
so
that
did I.
nor is the duty or role. Nor is the duty or role. So let me find it from the beginning here. Let's see. And it's so protected may occur in the minor's interest by 1980s. So it says, nor is the duty or the role the duty of a court-appointed guardian ad litem of a minor child in a divorce case. So that doesn't matter to us.
That's the divorce case, yeah.
We don't need that one. The guardian serves as a court's agent and prepares a report for the court detailing his or her findings. Here it is. And when parents litigate due process, no matter how, let's see, that wasn't it. Pursuant to, right here. Here we go. Guardian ad litem shall use the standard of the best interest. Washington guidelines are informative on child development and are relevant in the actions only to the extent that they address factors included in the statutes. The state, our state, where is it here? I found it, the new laws. Oh, okay, who's mandatory duties? Interview child and parents, partners in home. Investigate, write a report, and appear at trial to testify or assist the court. Non-mandatory duties. Interview third parties like grandparents, if not living in home, teachers, therapists, physicians, or daycare providers. Obtain and review records from other sources. Attend mediation or other court proceedings. Recommend therapists, psychological evaluations, or other services. Those are non-mandatory duties. So,
But it says children and parents, and she hasn't even really talked to either of us.
I agree with that. I bet my stint with the GAL was a matter of 20 minutes altogether in the whole 2 years that we were under investigation. But what I do know is that she was up everybody else's keister when she was doing her stuff on us. She was going to neighbors' houses. She was going to extended family that I didn't even know I had, things like that. I mean, she was in our business. And where she was getting her facts from, I don't know. But I also know that she was communicating with CPS on a regular basis.
Yeah, she does. Yep, ours does too.
I don't know how that's considered a non-bias, a GAL.
Okay, wait a minute. Who has custody of the kids?
The state?
Oh, yeah, state. So they have no
The
choice.
state representative is?
The GAL.
Caseworker.
No, the state's representative.
The caseworker.
Right. Who is the GAL going to check on the kids through?
The caseworker, the person in charge of them. So that's okay. So then that begs to be the question. So it may seem that they're all about being with CPS, but you're absolutely right, Roz. They have to be, because DHS, CPS, DHHR, whoever they are in charge of your child. So they have no choice.
Right.
I've never even thought of it that way.
That's why I don't get the big bucks.
Right. Exactly. Well, I mean, these are all things that people overlook. And what my biggest concern with people that are involved in cases is that they focus on all of this stuff that is not, it's minuscule to what is important. Because if they're getting abused at the foster care's house, for instance, or like they don't like what's happening over there, that's not going to do anything to get your kid home any faster. If anything, that's going to slow everything up and force them to move your child to somewhere else. So if you have a placement that you like, first of all, that your kid, you know where your kid is and they're safe, all you've done is challenge that now, and you've moved them to somewhere where you don't know where they are, you don't know if they're safe, and you don't know anything about the family that has them.
Right.
So you need to be very weary of how you address these situations. Because if you feel comfortable where your kid is and that you don't like what's going on there, leave that alone, because you don't want to have your child go somewhere where you don't know, and you don't know who they are, what they are, where they are, or what's going on. So, you need to be very weary about your battles that you pick.
That's kind of
Second,
good. I mean, it's kind of good in a way though, because in our standpoint, where Arasta is now, she's in a better place than what she was in the beginning.
right?
Hmm.
And these foster parents actually keep in contact and send pictures.
Oh,
Well,
that's
that's
nice.
nice.
Because it is partially the foster parents or the kinship or whatever's duty, right, Ross, to make sure that they go by the plan is. So if the plan is reunification, they shouldn't be um, they shouldn't be alienating the parents. They should be filling
So
the parents in, correct? Like that should be part of this with the foster parents' duties and obligations.
they are to be in agreement with whatever um, the plan is. If the plan is reunification, they should be helping the parents work toward reunification. They should not be adversarial.
Hmm. Wow. Because I know that that's a problem for a lot of these families, is the foster parents start getting attached to these kids, or whatever the casework tells them lies, and they start withdrawing the relationship between the parents and the kids, and then they go in and they even go so far as to in the say like, oh, the kid never asks for its parents, or the kids don't do this, so now they're feeding false information to the GAL for her report, or
The one,
whoever's for it, you know. So that's the other thing. I think they're
uh,
supposed to be compliant.
oh, the child, but if the child is upset because they had to leave the parent, of course they're going to.
Right, but the foster parents should be giving that information to CPS worker to go in their reports, to the GAL, to someone, because when you go, and for instance, when you go to a termination of parental rights, they go in there and they say that the child never even asked for mom or dad, which is a bold-faced lie. And
No
that
one in the
the foster
comments.
parents should be honestly reporting what's going on with, like Vinny said the other day, the kid was saying, hey, I want my dad, I want to talk to my dad. Well, even though he can't talk to his father, that stuff should be in there on the record, that the
Hmm.
child is asking for it. Now, whether it gets put in there or not, that's a whole nother story. So Vinny, that's one of
Right.
those things, make sure you get that in the record, put that in with your your motion or whatever, that way that that the court, because the judge, I think it's Roz that always says this, or maybe it was Melissa that used to say it.
Yes.
But the judge can only report on what they know. If
That's
it's
right.
not in your file and it's not in your record, then they don't know about it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have her add it to the motion before we print it off.
Have who added to the motion?
Lynn.
Okay, I don't know who.
And always remember, when you send in motions, you got to copy everybody.
Oh, I keep a copy. I keep an extra copy, and it stays in a file upstairs.
I mean, when you file a motion, CPS needs to get a copy, the GAL needs to get a copy,
Attorney General.
or else it's ex parte and it's useless.
Right. Now, did you yeah, you have them all CC'd in that, because the clerk of courts is pretty good up here. Well, you're in a different place than I am. I know Matt, which is the clerk of courts down here. He's very helpful, and he makes sure too, Vinny, that you put your fee waiver in there.
I've never been charged a fee at all.
All right, well, put that in there. I'll send you a fee waiver. You put that on there, because there is a fee that goes with this that they're supposed to charge you. Because
not an indigency form, that is correct.
Right. Yep. Because you were supposed to charge.
That, please do.
Yeah. I have the state of Maine one here that I'll send to you.
It's okay.
But that ensures that your stuff gets paid for and that it gets done properly, and they're not
right
delaying anything, because it's awful to have a motion just sitting somewhere because you didn't know that it had to be sent or whatever.
Well, they signed for the one that we sent out a couple days ago for the motion for dismiss, so they signed for it.
Well, they signed for it.
Oh yeah, we had it certified.
Is it your responsibility to send it to everyone, or does the clerk do that for you?
The clerk up here does that for us.
They copy it and they send it off to all the parties.
Yep.
Okay. Boy, they're a lot more helpful there than here.
Yeah, I would say, because they're not. I mean, they do it for you, but with the proper documentation, like a fee waiver, for instance.
No, they had never charged, and all my stuff has gotten to both my criminal case and the CPS case. So
that's good. I'm glad that so far so good. Unless you're going to get a whopping bill from them all of a sudden at the end of all this. Not only are you,
you might.
Right, they might be collecting it and then just going to give it to you at the end.
Yeah, get a hold of that. It's either called a pauper form or an indigency form.
Yep.
And get that filled out.
I'll send it to you right now. Let's see. Save this. Let me get out of here. I'll get that fee waiver form for you. But I attach them to everything that I possibly can. Anytime I'm sending something to the court, I attach a new fee waiver for it, and then that way you're just ensured that your stuff is going through, because they'll send you a receipt copy of it, saying that your fee waiver was accepted, and then they move forward with whatever they're doing, whatever you're asking them to do for them. It's better to just get yourself all set for sure.
But I'm also gonna, in the meantime, I've already talked to my case manager, and he's looking into possibly transporting me to Augusta so he can be there when I go to get my file.
Oh, that's cool. That's real cool, man. So that's good that they're helping you out, man. That's really nice. It's a stressful enough time. Trying to see here. Herbert, what do you know about a GAL, man?
In terms of how it applies to child services.
Yeah, I was just wondering what you know. What you have? Do you have any information or any takes on what a GAL does, what their job is? Any questions about them?
No,
anything
not in
like
terms
that?
of child services. Criminal stuff.
I mean, obviously they're not.
How it deals with criminal matters, yeah, but not with child services.
Yeah. I'm assuming that they're somewhat similar, but whatever. Actually, no, I shouldn't even assume that. I shouldn't assume that at all, because that makes the ass out of you and me, right? I assume. Trying to look for a video here that I had once on the GALs and like what they're kind of goes by a list of what they're responsible for and so forth. It's a pretty good 2 or 3 minute video that is some good information to have. Yeah, like I said to you guys at the beginning, please like and subscribe if you guys are watching us right now. It just takes you a second and it helps us out a tremendous way. by it opens up a lot of different avenues of things that we can use and so on. So if you guys could remember to do that, I really greatly appreciate it. So let's see here. Let's see, GAL responsibilities and CPS cases.
You can tell. You can tell what day it is because there's not many people on tonight.
It's hump day. Let's see. Let's see. How to prepare for child custody evaluation at home. 3 reasons people lose custody of their children in family court. Guardian ad litem. We speak for children. Let's see what this lady has to say here. Well, that's a 30-minute interview. We don't want that. What is a guardian ad litem and what do they do?
Good evening, Carrie.
That's the most. We don't want that. Guardian ad litems definition. Guardian ad litem. Things to avoid. GAL home visit video. All right. Oh wow! Like this. This is cool. This might not have anything to do with that, but let's check this out. Let's see what this says here. All right. Yes, Carrie, you're absolutely right. Always hit the like. There we go. Put that up there. Let's do this here. Let's share the screen. Check this out. Yeah, this is how we share parenting. That's the wrong one. Sorry about that. Wrong one. CPS. Let's see. CPS. GALs. Carrie, how are you doing tonight? Good? GALs. Let's see. CPS GAL conflict of interest. Here we go. Let's see. Let's see what this guy says. What to expect during a GAL investigation. Let's see what I'll focus on expectation report points. All right, there we go. There.
Appoints a guardian ad litem, the court will issue an order called Order of Appointment of Guardian ad litem, and this will provide you with the name of the person who will be the guardian ad litem for your children. The Order of Appointment of Guardian ad litem will review different issues such as who will pay for the guardian ad litem and what the division of the costs will be. Sometimes this could be 100% payment by one parent. It could be a 50-50 split. It could be a 25-75 split. It will be based on a division that the court thinks is equitable after reviewing each parent's circumstance. Once the court issues the Order of Appointment of Guardian ad litem, the Guardian ad litem's office will receive the order of appointment and will process the next step. The next step will be for the guardian ad litem to send out an initial introductory letter. This will usually explain the guardian ad litem's fees and policies and also provide the parents with each a questionnaire that they will need to complete. The initial packet will also usually include a guardian ad litem stipulation that will be a contract between the guardian ad litem and the parents and will be submitted to the court for approval. This can review various issues such as the payment of the fees, what each party is responsible for, the hourly rate, the retainer amount, whether or not the guardian ad litem will have to submit a motion to exceed the statutory fee limit of $1,000 on the guardian ad litem investigation. The guardian ad litem stipulation can also review other issues, such as whether or not there will be
charge you with some of
a
these
confidential
CPS
conversations between the child and the guardian ad litem. Review the stipulation carefully, because it will become a court order and it will be enforceable by the parties or the guardian ad litem or the court. For the guardian ad litem questionnaire, this is usually a lengthy questionnaire that will ask you for a lot of information about you and your family. It will usually ask you for background information such as your education, your living history, where you have resided, your employment information, your relationship history. It may also review various things such as drug and alcohol use by either parent. It could review issues such as the child's teacher, who the name of the teacher is, the pediatrician, a mental health professional. It will also ask you to provide for references, and these are important information to get correct. They're not necessarily going to be just character references. You should choose people who have observed in person your parenting of the child or children, or is aware of some of the disagreements or the issues and has firsthand information. A good person to put in the reference might be the child's teacher, so that the guardian ad litem can review with the teacher how the child is doing in school. Daycare providers, other people that have first-hand knowledge are going to be the most important people to list for the references. After you've received this introductory packet, you'll return it to the guardian ad litem, and once the guardian ad litem has the payment and everybody's paperwork, the guardian ad litem will proceed to the next step, which is usually an in-office interview separately of both parties. It will depend on your specific guardian ad litem, but most guardian ad litems will want to interview you alone. This will not be an interview that will include the children, spouses, or other people, but you'll want to check with your guardian ad litem to make sure what their specific preference is. After you've had the in-office interview, the guardian ad litem will usually then conduct a home visit, which means that the guardian ad litem will go out to your home, meet the children, meet any significant others or spouses that you may have living in the home, and get a feel for what family life is like in your home. If you're having supervised visits, the guardian ad litem may instead go to the supervised visitation center instead of doing a home visit to observe you interacting with your child or children. Once these parts are complete for the investigation, the guardian ad litem is going to reach out to other sources such as teachers, doctors, references, other people who may have information about your case. The court may allow the guardian ad litem, or you may allow the guardian ad litem through a release to review things such as medical records or school records, police reports, or DCYF reports or records. And the guardian ad litem will hopefully conduct a thorough investigation, which will give the GAL all of the information he or she needs to then make recommendations. Depending on what the court has set in the guardian ad litem appointment, the court will either have the guardian ad litem file a GAL report, which will be a lengthy report about the investigation, so the history and the background of the family, the current circumstances and the issues that are going on for the family, and recommendations. Sometimes instead of filing a GAL report, the court will have the GAL come to court at a hearing, such as a review hearing or a status conference, and give an oral report about the status of the investigation and any recommendations that the guardian ad litem might have. The court could also ask the GAL instead to issue a opinion letter, which would be a much shorter letter rather than a guardian ad litem report. It would be a letter reviewing on a smaller basis the investigation and then provide recommendations. And then from there, it'll really be dependent on the specific needs of the case. What will happen next in a guardian ad litem investigation? It could be ongoing review of the parenting matters. It could be testimony at trial. It could be attendance at mediation or a settlement conference to help the parties resolve the issues. If you have any questions about guardian ad litem
All right. So there we go. That's basically in a nutshell what we got. That's what you got to expect. I mean, obviously we heard just a little bit ago in those guidelines for Maine that the out part isn't part of the GAL now, but I mean, I think, like I said, all right, we got our guest here, Corey. Corey's here for an update. Corey.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Corey, hey guys. I don't know if you guys, we got a new rally here, a new roster here, Corey, of people here. Guys, this is Corey. Corey's been with me for quite some time now, huh, Corey?
Yeah, a little bit.
I don't know if
we found you. Since we started really battling.
Oh, I lost you.
Hang on, I'm here. I was just getting a different light on.
Yeah.
Now I've been looking for an attorney now for pretty heavy, looking for a litigation attorney for our case because of what's gone on. There's been some things that have happened.
Hey Corey, do you mind giving a quick little rundown to everybody of what's happened with you and how your family's been torn apart and everything? Just like
yeah.
a quick,
Well, started out with a issue with my mother-in-law, and she's a ER nurse for 40 years. She's retired now, but she and I didn't get along, and so basically she caused a lot of this. Brought the police in, what happened was I got into a fight with her husband when he was drunk. I ended up having to call the police on him. And that's kind of what started all this. And she got CPS involved. She fed him a bunch of pretty sick info. So they just, hung right onto us. They knew, we were doing well. My wife and I we remodel homes, interiors, kitchens, baths, stuff like that. So we did really well last year, and we got, finally got our down payment for our house, and it seemed like, they knew that you had money or something, and they just came right after us. I had to spend a lot on an attorney. Finally just went broke on it. On our fourth or fifth attorney now, but now it's come to the point where they're using outside of the county agents, and our landlord happens to be working for them, and they are using her, and my attorney that's handling the criminal part of it, because they tried. I mean, they've arrested me and everything over this, and I don't even have a criminal record. I've never been in jail or anything, and they are trying to go that route with this landlord, and they removed me from the home, the whole nine. I mean, they just bogus after whatever they could get a hold of. And
so Vinny's in kind of the guy Vinny right above you, Corey. He's kind of in the same situation as you. I mean, I don't know if you want to put out there what went on, but you.
Yeah, no, for real. It's wife and I got into an argument, and they went to the school, coerced a statement out of my daughter, and my daughter obviously told us that she didn't say the things they said. That it was all lies. I don't know I still to this day haven't read the statement because I know it wasn't factual, but
how old is the daughter?
My daughter, she's right here. She's 11. She was what,
Okay.
9 at the time? Yeah, she was 9 years old at the time,
Okay.
and so she basically was beside herself. She won't speak to any of them at all now. She won't
Good
speak a
girl.
word to them, huh?
Right.
Good
And
girl.
she knows, what they're trying to do. It's very obvious. I mean, they were just here yesterday. Two of the workers, they they came and they here, I got a little one going crazy. Um, they came and had just asked a bunch of questions. Basically, just try to provoke me into an argument because they know I'm a
But you
firecracker.
just got home, right? Like you just got back into your house,
Yeah, I've
right?
been home a month now.
He's been gone for a
Right?
year, correct?
Yeah, about a year. I was out of my house. I was living with my brother, just visiting, able to visit. I mean, that was even all whacked because they had me labeled as some psychopath, right? Terrorist. And I'll admit I got a hot temper. If it comes to my children, there's sparks will fly. And that's all it was. When the workers came in and they did what they did and terrified my kids, I got mad. So I I um I had to go through that. That tore up my girls. We're very close, all of us. I mean, I got a 1-year-old, a 2-year-old, and my 11-year-old, and we do everything together. It was really hard on them. Changed them a little bit. I mean, things are getting back to normal, but it it put us in a spot where like the business failed. I mean, it's like we just started that up a year and a half ago, and we're doing great. And it's just I had 2 vehicles. We're ready to buy a house. Now we're like down to 1 vehicle. We're living in an apartment that's charged way too much for it. The landlords one's a CPS lawyer and one's a CPS worker, I guess. But she's outside of our county and she's working with the agents in our county, telling them things about us. And so I had my attorney with the criminal part. She's the one who she said that I was here when I wasn't supposed to be, which there wasn't an order in place to say I shouldn't be here. Whatever it was, it didn't matter because we didn't break the order. Right? I knew how important it was. So what I did was I ordered my attorney to take it to trial, which we're going to, and order her to come into court to speak her mind because the statement thing was all screwy. I mean, we were getting ready to go into court, and we see our landlord coming out of the courthouse. We're like, what's she doing here? Had no idea, totally blindsided by it. So I get arrested over it. Go in front of the judge. I mean, they let me go. I don't have a record of this. So now they just any avenue they could get, they've completely what do you call it? They've exhausted all their efforts. There's none left. So now I don't know what's going to happen. I've been worried, like sick. My wife has, because now that they've lost, what are they going to do next? And it's like, so what we're trying to do is get a litigation attorney. We have a solid case, even just against my landlord. We have a solid case. I can sue her. I can sue the mother-in-law. I could sue everybody. I could sue CPS. I just need an attorney that's going to accept it without money and take his cut at the end, because they're gonna bank on this. I mean, our wife's kept impeccable records of everything that's taken place. We record every meeting. I mean, I literally have an extra cell phone full of every recording from these agents. And all you could see that they do, like when they were here yesterday, all they tried to do was provoke me into an argument.
Right.
So
they want to get you enraged.
And you were recording them, correct?
Pardon?
You were recording them, correct?
Oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah. We record everything.
Your 11-year-old have a cell phone?
Yep. That's
Good.
actually on her phone.
Sure to record.
Yep.
She's turn on her recorder.
Yep. She already knows we don't even have anything to do with them unless there's a recording going on. Well, here's the thing. This is what takes place. My attorney calls this landlord and asks her some questions about, what took place and how the statement was given, because they still won't give us the FOIA on the phone call that was made to have me arrested. All right, because it was supposed to be done by this woman, but they won't give us the phone call for some reason. So we know that tells you pretty much that it wasn't done by her, that she just spoke because she's outside the jurisdiction. So
They're not
basically,
going to give it to you, Corey.
right there, we got him. I know that, and my
So
lawyer
for
knows
you,
that. She's already told me.
So basically,
that?
what's happening is you have when do you go to get final adjudication that you're all set and they're out of your life?
They just told me they're extending the order
Why?
yesterday.
Why?
Because of, let's see. Actually, I don't even know. I have no idea.
No. One, to have it extended, it has to be a court order. There better be a hearing.
Oh yeah. We know that. We absolutely know that. That's what I told my wife, not to worry about it. But they wanted to extend it for 8 more months so these people can keep coming to our house. And I'm like, no, that's not going to happen. That's why it's so imperative I get a hold of the. I mean, I've been like tirelessly, my wife too, looking for an attorney that will handle our case because it's so vast. I mean, it's big.
Are
It's a
you
big
also
case.
in Maine?
Pardon?
Are you also in Maine?
No,
What state are you in?
Where are you?
I'm in New York. We're in New York, Western New York, like between Buffalo and Rochester.
Okay, I used to live in Rochester.
Yeah,
I
me
lived there
too.
for about 6 months.
I wish I was still there. I promise you that. I wish I still lived there. My family's all from there.
Corey.
So they're extended your stuff for 8 more months. Did that
Well,
the judge know that?
they're going to try to. They're going to try to. I honestly don't think the judge is going to allow it. On based on whatever they're coming up with. I don't know what it would be, but all I can say is they, like I said, they know they've lost. The woman, when she spoke to me yesterday, you could see that she was really trying to provoke an argument.
Right, she's trying to get you hot-headed so that you flip out and get some sort of reaction.
Yes, and I totally kept it cool and was smiling. Told them to have a nice day, but I know what that's their only angle now. In they can't. Well, this thing with the landlord here is terrifying to us because we don't know if she's going to you don't. I mean, these people can say anything. This is a landlord and she's an agent, so she could be, she could basically go and say anything. But
that's not right, man, because you're in your own home. Like you should be privy to the privacy of that.
Listen, after my attorney called her, she was at my house within an hour and just barged in and wanted to talk to me. Didn't call, didn't, just showed up. And it was like shocking. My wife's like, what the hell's going on? And we're sitting there thinking to ourselves, what is this lady doing? And I'm not kidding you, she looked like she was whacked out on drugs. She couldn't look me in the eyes. She was like, her eyes were scanning all over the place. She was like all flighty and jittery. Like, I think she knows. And I forgot to tell you, we have the conversation between my attorney and her recorded. So she recorded it. So I have it. It's a 4-minute conversation, and it damns her. It damns her beyond belief. And actually, I want to say it even caught her in lies. So that's like, I don't know how the attorneys are going to handle this because I don't know all that jazz. But I do know what has gone on is completely illegal, and it's the proper attorney will fire this straight into the courts the proper way. You know what I mean? I gotta find an attorney that's going to handle this case, and it's been really hard to get a hold
You
of
know
somebody.
where to start looking.
Pardon?
You know where to start looking for an attorney.
I've been looking online. The last thing we got to do is file this paperwork with the courts. We have to pay $400, and then it goes to the Supreme Court. And maybe they said then maybe one of them will review it and take the case. But
that sounds like an appeal process.
It's not just an appeal process. It's part of that. It's like filing a big motion, I guess, against the court itself. And I don't know the correct terminology.
Against the court, you're on a big uphill battle. But if you want to sue Children's Services,
I got a.
So
There's
that's
what I'm saying.
It's
It's
$400 is
multiple.
a registration fee for a federal court case. Is usually what that is. I'm pretty sure that's what it is to file in the federal courts. $400.
Yeah, it's a federal thing. Yep, you're right.
Right. So that's going to be a whole different game than to keep your CPS case. Like, you need to stay in the game because you still have the CPS investigation going on there. You need to get that closed up before you should even be thinking about moving into that federal.
right? Because they're not done screwing with you.
Right.
No, they're not, and that's just it. I just want them to leave us alone, and I would like to get some of the money back that we lost, because they've violated. They have the civil rights that were violated, the HIPAA rights that were violated, all documented. I mean, they've lied under oath in court.
It's impossible for them to violate HIPAA.
Huh?
Right.
You have to be a medical professional to violate HIPAA.
You have to be a medical professional?
Yes.
So say if the mother-in-law tells that, or they tell the mother-in-law over the phone the results of say a drug test or something like that, that's not a violation of HIPAA?
That's a
No, however, should the mother-in-law, since she's a medical professional,
Well, she's retired.
Her case? Okay, so she can't go to the hospital and get on a computer and know what to do.
I have no idea. I don't talk to the woman.
Something like that you could get her for. But HIPAA is violated only by medical professionals. Did you sign a release for Children's Services to see the results of a drug test?
No. At that time, no.
They ordered you to do the drug test?
Yeah.
Okay, then
I just did one today.
You have a problem, but not HIPAA. Okay? The problem is, this is to be a confidential case. They're not supposed to be divulging to people outside of the case. So your problem is with the caseworker, but not HIPAA.
Okay.
All right?
That's what I mean. That's you got it right there.
Okay. Now, when you're looking for an attorney, go to Google Scholar.
Let me write this down, because this is what we need. I have had no luck, and the ones that I do speak with, they just won't listen. They don't want to take the case. They don't want to take it.
But
Hang
you
on,
did
baby.
one that sued them before.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, you go to Google Scholar. Okay, you punch in, it'll give you selecting courts. Okay, so you would, I think it's the 4th district.
It's Scholar.
Google Scholar.
All right.
Okay, and that will bring up. You type in the name of your service, your children's service agency.
Yep.
Okay, and you choose your courts, which would be your district court. And you can put in dates, which is a good thing. Choose like from 2020 on. and you look for cases where children's services has been sued, and you look at who the attorney was. Now you
Okay,
know who's not afraid of them.
that's right. Okay, that sounds good.
Okay,
I'll
that's how
do
you look
that.
to find an attorney. Now I have a couple other pieces of advice for you. Is your 11-year-old currently in counseling?
She's completed it. She had to
Want
go
her,
and then complete it.
want her back in. The more that you can prove that they damaged her, the bigger the college fund.
Yep.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Okay. Well, that's not a problem. It's a horse ranch. She loved it. It was cool actually.
Not through the school. That's low
She's an
level
honor
counseling.
student. She's an honor roll student. She's like perfect in school.
No, I thought you said she had a counselor at school.
There was a counselor at school, but they didn't do nothing. This school's a
Yeah,
joke.
I'm talking about a regular therapist.
Right.
Right?
No,
And you probably wouldn't hurt to seek a trauma therapist either.
Yeah.
okay. Yeah. No, that's a good idea. Good idea. I like that.
Getting your
Um,
evidence together.
Shane,
You and your wife also need to be in counseling for your PTSD from Children's Services.
Yep.
I'm currently I see a counselor next week. My wife currently is in counseling. We're all in counseling.
Awesome, because those people will be your witnesses.
Yes, I do know that. I'm not gonna lie. This has changed our dynamic like more than I could
Hmm.
ever even imagine, and I'm just trying to get it back, man. I mean, it's been really tough.
Yeah,
It's, uh,
I
it's
hear all
hard.
the time from parents who totally devastated.
I
You
lost
know,
a year and a half of my
parents who
kid's
are
life,
afraid to
and
take their kids to the hospital when they need to go to the hospital.
yeah, they're doing all that crazy jazz too. They're trying to
Now,
send my 1 and 2-year-old to the dentist. I laughed at
They
them.
don't even have teeth.
They don't have teeth. She
but
does. She's got six teeth.
that's as good as a 3 week old that bit their tongue and caused it to bleed.
Right.
Well,
Right
what's got me
there,
nervous is
okay?
that these guys are out here. They kind of go. I've had attorneys. I might have told Darren this. I've had attorneys refuse to represent me out here when this first started because they said that this county has their own way of doing things, and that it.
Those attorneys need to be report. Well, if they took money from you, they need to be.
Well, no, they didn't take money. They wouldn't take the case.
Now, any attorneys that did you wrong in this, you need to report them.
I got that. I do have an attorney that we are reporting. My current attorney, I plan on reporting. They just refuse to help. You know, they're public defenders out. We're down to public defenders. We can't afford an attorney. I mean,
Doesn't matter.
my sakes, for what Biden's done to the economy, we're in. I mean, forgive me if people like Biden, but
Not here.
last year we were. You know, our fridge was full. Our needs were completely met in every way possible, and this year it's like total struggle. I mean, but obviously we had solid work, and you know, we just completed a huge job. We made a lot of profit. And now I'm down to my, furniture remodeling, because I haven't been able to, just with all the stuff that you have to do. I mean, how can you start? I can't go start a job in somebody's house right now. I have to go to 6 appointments a week. My wife too, my kids. It's just insane. They expect you to have a life, and you can't even function. Period. I mean,
Are these all these appointments? Are the ones that Children's Services is making you do?
Yes.
Does your case plan state that you must maintain employment?
Not yet, but that's coming.
How long have you been in this?
Almost 3 years now with this current situation. Yeah.
And you don't have a case plan?
I don't even know. A case plan. What's that?
A safety plan?
They had a safety plan. That's how to remove me from the house.
Okay,
We're on the
but
second. We're on the second deal they give you, and now they're trying to extend that. We had an ACD, a 1-year ACD. 4 days before that ACD was up, one of the workers came here. She had a black eye. She was high and stoned on drugs, smelled like marijuana. Came here and said she was signing off on the case. Everything was good. She went to the school the following Monday, got that statement from my daughter, and they extended our case a year. I mean, we know what they do. We know how they get paid and all that. And now they're trying to extend it even longer. And at the end of that, it's not just us, all right? In this county, there's multiple people that we know that they've taken children or foster children here. They have a racket going here. It's huge, and they're making a lot of money off it. So I just need some.
No. Children's Services does not make a profit. However, foster care agencies do.
Well, however they're doing it, somebody's making money because ours is all gone. I mean, it's just
attorney.
The attorney, we paid him, and he quit midway because they set it up to where there was a conflict of interest, and I still owed him. I think.
How did they say it was a conflict?
You know what? I never got a bill from him. He never asked for the money. He never sent anything. He just bounced.
What did they say the conflict was?
Huh?
What did they say the conflict was?
Because they had separated me from the home. So we would have to have separate attorneys.
Oh, yes, you do.
Yep. So he couldn't represent either one of us because of it, and he walked.
Okay.
I don't know if that's a bad thing or a good thing. What I think is he was actually paid off because he never asked for the rest of the money.
No. They always have to have. You always have to have separate attorneys. Reason being, okay, you have to know this. I've said it many times in here. These guys are sick of hearing it. There's only one reason and one reason only that there are rules, regulations, laws, procedures, all of that. Somebody got stupid. Okay? That's the only reason any of that was ever made. If nobody got stupid, nobody think about writing up the law, regulation, rule, procedure, whatever. Okay? Now, the reason you can't have one parent represented by one attorney, both parents by one attorney, is one parent screwed up. Okay? Whether they went off the deep end or whatever, okay? And only one parent was qualified to take the kids back. Okay? So they always have separate, so that if the case needs to be that the kids are only returned to one parent, that can be done, and the kids can stay at least with one parent.
Yeah, that's how they did it.
They always do it that way. That's nothing new. It would be a conflict if one guy tried to do both, and let me tell you, it's a good thing that you got rid of him, because if he took that, money, he really didn't know anything about the system.
Well, he was when I retained him, he was top of the list in Rochester, New York. He had very good credentials.
He should have known he could not represent you both. Now, down there in the chat, Corey, I put in my email address down there in that where it says private chat.
Yeah, I'll put it on the screen too. There you go, Raj.
There. That's my email address.
All right.
I will send you managing your attorney. Tells you how to treat your attorney.
Okay.
Okay. So you and your attorney can start off on the right foot, and that was done because of court-appointed attorneys.
Yeah. Yeah, the
Okay.
ones we have now they're both the public defenders we have now are basically just they lay down. They don't do nothing.
Yeah, you know they're not going to do anything.
Then here's what you do. Next time you communicate with them, you have the complaint form with the bar or your Supreme Court, whichever your state does it, the blank form, and you just attach it to your email. You don't say anything about it, you just attach it. And you give them their instructions. Whatever it is you want them to do. But you attach that. And that is passive aggressive for I will get you.
From the bar. You get a complaint form.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, yeah, that's I was speaking with gosh, I can't remember who, but they told me that I needed to file complaints. I needed to file complaints with all of them because like the morning that our attorney quit, it was a Monday, and I had actually drove to Rochester from where I am. This is an hour away now.
Mm-hmm.
That Friday to give him to pay him. I gave him a couple $100, because that's the deal we'd set up. I give him a few $100 a month. He was fine with it.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of that, he'd already been paid maybe $4 or $5 grand, but he did nothing for us. I mean, literally nothing. He just took the money, and then I kind of think, my wife kind of thinks the same thing, that he just didn't ask for the rest of his money because he knew he stuck it in our backs, pretty good.
Right.
So,
Well, you should turn him in and ask for your money. There's very little that you can ask for restitution type thing when you do a complaint, but one is that your funds be returned.
well, yeah, because
if he didn't do anything,
I mean, he never. When they put this ACD on us, we were never like, court wasn't adjourned. They just did it. Nothing was explained. We had no idea about any of this stuff. Nothing was explained to us. And in his billing process, okay, this is another thing that was crazy. We get this bill, and I mean, this guy charges for everything, phone calls. I mean, everything.
that's
Even if they
standard.
were only a couple minutes long. And
15-minute minimum.
right. Well, we had no idea of this, We didn't know that. I mean, I walked in this guy's office and put $3 grand cash on his desk and said, "Can you fight for us?" He said, "Yes." All right. He didn't give us an idea of what his charges or his fees were. We didn't know any of that until the end. And then we get this list, and I mean, holy Moses, the retainer's gone and nothing even happened. So it's like,
he did not give you an agreement form?
Nothing. No.
That's something you put in the complaint. That he never gave you you never signed an agreement with him for him to represent you, and he never gave you a fee schedule.
No, he gave us a lot of really good talking, how he's going to get this done and that done, and then we'd go to court and nothing would happen. It was just crazy.
Yeah.
But I was really surprised as far as how he handled his exit, and it just seemed very odd to us. And like I said, we've had like times where they have us come back to court, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this one particular time, the judge was there, but they kept it off record. The judge was not in the courtroom, and they put a new order on us via the clerk. And I was like, this is not right. And
was your attorney in the back room with them?
Yeah, that's another thing that's just crazy here is they're always in the back room. We never see what's going on.
Your attorney
we never hear what's going on or see it, and then they come out and like, here's your deal. We don't get any information. We have no idea what's happening. We don't hear our attorney talk to them. We don't hear our attorney speak to the judge. Nothing until they bring us into the court. They give us the deal, and that's it. And I know that's not right. So I
Did
the
you ever hear
previous
the term a stipulation? You
the
ever hear
previous
of a
pardon?
stipulation? Have you ever heard the term stipulation?
Yes,
Did your attorney agree to a stipulation without discussing it with you?
absolutely. Every time.
Oh Lord!
Yes, that's the way it's been the whole case. That's why I know is I believe it's a slam dunk. But
Do you
I just
understand
have
what a stipulation is?
do I understand it?
Yeah.
Well, when it happens, when they explain it to us in the courtroom, but like I said, they don't review things like the order, for instance, or the ACD or this new order. It's just they just add it to it. Like they write it up. We'll receive it either a days or a week later, and then they'll have all this stuff on it that they we supposedly agreed to.
Okay.
It's
Good. Good. Good.
it's
Good. Good.
criminal.
Part of stipulation is knowingly doing it. You did not knowingly stipulate. Your attorney
Correct.
did it for you. You sue that attorney for malpractice.
So what I'm saying,
We
it's
don't know
not.
how to find a lawyer.
Well,
Hi.
my wife.
Hi.
Yes, that's exactly how it's been the whole case through multiple attorneys. Now we're talking what, three in that area.
I am
And
sick of bad attorneys. You have no idea. Over
it's
25
been
years of bad attorneys.
we actually, okay, so here's a situation that took place. My wife completely catches the CPS attorney. I don't know why this woman don't know me or anything. She can't stand me for some reason. But my wife completely catches this woman lying in court under oath in an email.
Hang on.
Okay,
Hang on. Who is she?
she's the attorney for CPS.
She's not. You can't get her for perjury or anything else. All she
Okay,
knows, she's a good attorney for her client. Who's her client?
CPS.
Right.
So what she did though is this email. You could probably explain it better. The email was we printed it out and we sent it to my attorney because it was regarding me.
Why was she sending you an email?
No, it was an
Explain it.
email.
Here, let my wife explain it.
It was
Okay.
an email from her to Corey's lawyer. Okay.
Okay.
And it was like going over like a whole bunch of stuff, pretty much just completely like trashing us and the whole thing. So Corey's lawyer sent it to us, her email. So we got to read it. And I pretty much broke down the entire thing and we filed our own motion in court because our public defenders refused to they what did he say? He wouldn't do anything. He refused to file. He will not do like any motion filings or anything. He told Corey that he needs to do what CPS wants. But anyways, so I filed this motion. We filed it on our own. So the CPS lawyers email, it was about like our daughter's 11 and they had like a daddy-daughter dance. Well, Corey wanted to go and he didn't get to go because she wouldn't like answer. She wouldn't answer the message. That was one of the things, and it was just a whole bunch of stuff that wasn't didn't accurately happen, and just the whole case. This has been a really long case.
Okay,
Well,
here's
this
the
motion.
thing.
Go ahead.
With the prosecutors, they only know what children's services tell them. Just like your attorney doesn't know anything except what you tell them.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, well,
you can't get them on perjury or anything else. But if they've got wrong information, then you have to correct
no,
it.
I don't think it's like wrong information. I think it's they just lie.
Okay, know how to tell if your caseworker's lying?
Yeah.
Love this.
Her mouth is moving.
Yeah, I know. And I said it's funny because this is like the fourth caseworker we've had, and like our one we had just retired in December. They gave us another one we had for what, a month, and she broke her leg and never came back. Now we have this other girl who knows nothing about us at all. She comes here yesterday.
The file.
It's so annoying when you have these people like coming to your house. They don't even have any kids. It's like you're talking to me about I have 3 kids. You don't even have any kids, lady. You know, it's so.
Yeah.
Oh, I told my blood pressure is like going through the roof with these people because I've just had it. We've had it. I just said I don't have any more in me. They've like ruined our life. They've taken all of our money. I mean, I can't even imagine having to deal with these people any longer. And you can't sit back and be like, okay, well, we're almost done because like our ACD is up, what, September 8th? And
what does ACD stand for?
Well, what it is they have him and I with each with one neglect charge, which it's bullshit. We don't neglect our kids. We got in an argument and it just exploded into 20 pages of lies. I had to stop reading the report they wrote because I was gonna murder somebody. I was so mad. But an ACD is the crappy deal that they give you with like 20 things that they want you to do. Parenting classes.
Okay, that's case plan, Corey. That's what I was asking you. That's the case plan.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. So, on that case plan, anywhere, does it say you must maintain employment?
No, it does not. I've read it a million times. No.
Damn.
I don't think it does.
Workers in trouble because
it says that we have to like maintain our house. We have to keep like our house. You know, we can't like lose that. We have just, you know, shit like that. We have to like be able to.
That'll do, because if they've got you doing all kinds of stuff during the day, during the working hours, they are not breaking the case plan.
I know, but Corey and I, we were self-employed.
I know, still there.
You know, I mean, and they made him leave our house for over a year. Like, we were doing great before this happened.
Yeah, he was saying.
We're not now, you know, and it's like they have the audacity to come in here and be like, well, you know, are you going to put your car, you know, my car's not on the road right now because I'm broke like everybody else is. Right. And it's like, you people are the reason, you know, it's like we're barely scraping by. They just let him come home, and now it'll be like, you got to get a job. You got to get a job. You know what it'll be. It'll be one thing after the next.
But if they're making you guys go to all these things,
yes, right,
hours, they can't. You can't have both.
Yep, I know.
Okay, you make sure that that's on there, because I've gotten many a caseworker in trouble over that.
Well, you know, I mean, it's just the whole thing that we even have an ACD. They got us on like the most bogus violation a year ago, which is a whole nother super long story. And
then, over a year, and it's either got to be fixed by now, or it was never there. It's right. That simple.
Well, and now, you know, with the ACD, if we it's a year long, so it ends September 8th. If we each successfully completed it, did everything they wanted, which we have, then they drop our charge.
Okay.
So we've done everything they wanted. I mean, this is just, it's like shame. I'm like ashamed of myself to have to lower. We've had to lower ourselves this much. We're not bad parents. We love our kids.
Yeah, is this on a criminal side or a CPS side?
No, this is all CPS side.
Okay.
We had some weird. Do you want me to tell her about our landlord? Yeah. We had some weird thing happen though. Like, okay, you get this. This is crazy. Our landlord, right? We find out that she's like a CPS caseworker for the next county over.
That's what he was saying. Yeah.
Holy shit! Right? What are the odds of that?
So pretty good, apparently.
I can't even no. And then we live upstairs. It's like a 2-apartment house.
A 2-family, yeah.
Yeah. We've been empty. This house has just been us the entire freaking 2 years we've lived here. They just moved these people in downstairs. The guy works with her. We have a freaking CPS worker living downstairs from us right now, working with her. So anyway, yeah. Oh yeah.
You have
and they smoke so much freaking pot. Oh my god, it's crazy. Can they even do that? It comes in out the window into my bedroom window.
It's not legal in New York now?
What's that?
Is it legal in New York now?
It is, but I looked it up and it says that if you work for like 100% drug-free work zone, you can't do it, and you have to have a card here.
You have to have a card?
I'm not. Yeah, you have to have a card, but I mean that's like a position of. I would think that that's probably a no-no, but even so,
I have something
college
coming up with. When they were pushing for it to be recreational here in Ohio, I said I didn't want it to go through until they had a curbside test like they do alcohol.
Yeah.
Okay, and that to me makes sense. Somebody told me that they were coming out with a wipe.
Yeah, they have those already. They have skin wipes.
See, here they if you get pulled over, if they test you, they don't have a way to it's in your system for a long time. So they're nailing everyone. If you don't have that card, and you smoked once.
Oh man,
weeks ago. It's New York.
You cannot sit at a red light in Cleveland, Ohio without getting a contact buzz.
Yeah, well, my 1-year-old is in the probably getting a contact buzz. My 11-year-old now knows what pot smells like, so that's just great.
Now she can watch out for it.
I know. She's like, Mom, it smells so bad. It's like every night, but
what she needs to do, she doesn't like talking to caseworkers.
Yeah.
Next time your caseworker comes over and wants to talk to her, she should tell him.
I know, right?
They're smoking pot.
Right. But my landlord. So
your door
a while ago when they put this order in where Corey couldn't be living here, right? It just began. So obviously we're not gonna go blab our business to our landlord, I mean, she comes to our house one day, and Corey was outside, and we have one car, so he had our car and he was dropping it off. He didn't come in, he didn't see the kids, none of it. He was waited here for about 5 minutes for his brother to come and pick him up, and he was gonna leave. So during that time, our landlord pulled in. They're chit-chatting outside. I could see her talking to him. And that was that. So about 5 weeks later,
card, there's nothing you can do.
Yeah, 5 weeks later, my husband has no criminal record at all. He gets arrested because this lady waited 5 weeks to put a statement on him. How she found out any of our business, we didn't know. And she got him arrested for violating our order of protection, right? So this has been going on. You've been in court for this.
Protection, not just the case plan?
No, they filed an order of protection where first you couldn't be here at all, right? And then they switched this. This is how retarded these people are. They went from no contact, no visitation unless it was supervised, to unsupervised. They had him coming to our house 3 nights a week, right? and I had to leave. So I had to go like freaking walk around Walmart for like 4 hours on a Saturday.
Why did you have to leave?
That's I don't know who made up this plan. No one ever answered that question. But yeah, it went from supervised to unsupervised, where he could be here with the kids, but I couldn't be here. We dealt with that for an entire year. And
My God. You do know you can write your own case plan, right?
what's that?
You can write your own case plan.
I see. Well, now we're more educated. We were like complete idiots in the beginning of this, and that's what I always tell him when he goes on your show. That's the most important thing. Like, I would love to be able to go to, march and protest for reform and stuff, but I can't. I'm a mom. I got little kids. But like I said,
you're any good anyhow.
Yeah, I know, but people need like education on this stuff.
That's how you do it.
Yeah, but they get so far because it's all fear based.
It is.
All they do is scare you. I mean, that's your children. I mean, and they know you'll do what they want, and then afterwards you're like, oh my God, why? I'm like an idiot. You feel so stupid. But I mean, it was like hours of us sitting on the internet watching you guys. I mean, having to learn about this stuff and how disgustingly criminal the whole organization is. It's just foul. And people just don't know this.
Now it's actually linking it right into child trafficking.
Yeah, I mean, like, all the stuff about, like, how they're getting paid, to...
Okay, and a lot of that stuff that's out there is false.
Oh, really? Even so, they still...
People who spout that never see their kids again. Okay?
Oh, yeah. Right, I'm sure. Well, you know what? We had money, so I think that's why... Yeah, they put our kids with my mom, who lives right down the street, but we had to pay that crappy lawyer we had $7,000. That's one thing he did do. He got them back in our house within like 2 months.
Yeah.
But I did what they wanted through this whole thing. I didn't want to give them an opportunity to take them away from me.
If you have done everything, then somebody should be putting in a motion to dismiss.
Well, nobody is, and we don't.
The thing is, what you do is to attach all of your certificates and letters of what you've done as exhibits. A copy of those as exhibits.
Yeah, I have everything.
Good. And you get copies of that, you write up a motion to dismiss it, okay? And you file it in the court.
Well, now... like I said, August 6th we go. It's supposed to be the last time we go to court because this order's up on September 8th. So yesterday they come here for their home visit thing. And the last thing Corey had to do, he's been sober for 3 years. He hasn't drank a drop of alcohol in over 3 years, right?
Congratulations.
So we had to both get evaluations done. You know how they do that. So Corey just got his done. And the place is dragging him through. Like, they didn't give him a treatment recommendation, but CPS gave their 2 cents. So they're going off what this lady's saying, that he is in there for alcohol. It's like he's been sober for 3 years. Like, it makes no sense. So yesterday they come and drop the bombshell on us. They're filing for an extension because of that.
Okay.
Until March.
Okay. The alcohol and drug place that did the test, they have credentials. Okay?
Yeah.
And you match credentials. Your caseworker doesn't have the proper credentials to make an assessment.
Yeah, she doesn't even know us. They just put it around.
She's not certified for that. She doesn't have she's not a counselor.
They have it set up in court though. If the evaluation will not count unless CPS sends their dirt on us prior to the evaluation. they will not count it. We've already
Hey, guys,
done it. Lost a
we
lot
are-
of money because of it.
That's not an independent investigation then.
Hey, guys,
It had to be an Oasis provider. It had to be an Oasis. They keep changing it all the time. But
Yeah,
Hey, let's
anyways,
continue. Hold on,
That's
guys.
the money state.
They're gonna kick us off here. So you guys want to continue? You guys
oh,
want to
they
come
are.
back
Oh,
tomorrow
sorry.
night?
Okay.
Do you guys want
Really?
to come back tomorrow night?
Yes, absolutely.
Right.
Because I want you guys to tell us like what to do now.
Yes.
They're gonna try to file this extension.
Yeah.
No way, man. And we have lawyers that won't do anything.
Yeah, let's do that. We'll bring you guys back in tomorrow night for sure.
Okay. Awesome.
Do
Awesome.
that. But
Okay.
you guys want to join us for the last words? You guys want to put in your last words?
You know mine is all same every night. Your kids more than you hate your caseworker.
That's right.
Vinny,
You guys have a good night.
you too, hon. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Herbert, how about you?
All right. All right. Hang on.
Yeah, right. I just like every night, stay off the radar.
Okay.
Uh,
Hey guys.
Hey, Corey.
And
So, yeah, we'll continue this tomorrow night, my man.
Yeah, give me a call, man. I'll be
All
out.
right, we'll see you
I'll
guys,
be doing on.
tomorrow night.
All right, you guys take care.
and avoid
Vinny, that motion looks good, by the way.
Yeah, it does.
avoid being on the radar. Avoid
Herbert,
being on the radar for child protection services. And understand awareness about child protection
I don't know
services
what's
as
going on.
it is the court system.
I don't know what happened to Herbert there. This stuff wasn't working. What the hell happened to him? I don't know. Roz is out. Vinny, last words for you, buddy?
Keep fighting the fight. Don't give up. And let's get rid of this Title 40.
Sounds good to me, my brother. All right. All right, guys. That's it. We'll have Corey and his wife back tomorrow night. Extended show tonight, which hopefully no one minded. Yeah, let's just stay tuned for more of tomorrow night. Keep CPS out of your life. I'm CPS Punisher. I'm out of here.